Hi everyone, it's Brittany. I chose to use Teach Your Monster to Read for my Games in Education learning activity. I'm going to show you some of the fun features that would be useful in a kindergarten classroom. In this game, students are able to customize and create their own monsters and travel through different islands while learning phonics skills like letter recognition, letter sounds, segmenting, and sight words. These games can be played individually in small groups or as a whole group using the smartboard. So to start, I'm going to show you how you can create a class. So I separated mine into groups. So we'll click on my yellow group. This is completely free, and the students also have their own logins, and the teacher chooses if they would like to use a password or not for each child. You also get to pick the starting point for each group. So there's game 1, which is called First Steps, and game 2, which is called Fun with Words. And then there is game 3, which is called Champion Reader. So in game number 1, First Steps, it is for children who are just starting to learn their letters and sounds. So this would be like in the beginning of the year. I'm sure most of my students would be using this. And then for the second game, which is called Fun with Words, that's for children confident with early letters and sounds, and they're ready to move on. So start blending and segmenting letters to make words. And then Teach Your Monster to Read game 3, which is called Champion Reader, is for those who are reading short sentences confidently and know most or all of their letter sounds. So you could also change their game. So if you see that a student is either struggling or if it's too easy for them, you could stop what they're doing and change it. And these 3 games are made to last for 2 years. So it's like 2 years of learning. The game 1 lasts 7 weeks. Game 2 lasts for 14 weeks. And game 3 lasts for 22 weeks. And this is with a 20-minute game time per week. So with this, the students are able to create their own character, and though they can't read, it uses the sounds so they know which part of the body they're changing. And then once they create their character, they get to start their adventure. And for this, they're going to travel through different islands. And this is just an introduction video. And I can show you a game demo. So this demo starts at island number 4. So they have to go through different islands and complete different levels of activities of games. So I'll just show you this one. So you have to collect flowers to say which way to go. And you just have to put your mouse over top of it. And it makes letter sounds as you go along. So it's like a video game as they are learning the letter sounds. And if they jump up, it makes the different letter sounds. They have to figure out which one. And there are fun noises too as it goes along. And each game is different, so it's very fun and interactive, and it's always new each time. In the teacher area has some great resources for the classroom. I was looking at the teacher toolkit. And in this teacher toolkit, I noticed that something that would be very good to use are digital flashcards. So I could choose teacher could choose any letter that you want them to use. So I'll do some that we have learned. And you simply just click and it switches on to the next one. And it also makes the letter sounds as you hover over it. So we can choose A, O, I, N, and B. And this would be done on the smartboard. And the kids could like shout out them and you could play around the world with it. P, B, S, E, and it only uses the letters that you pick, which is very cool. I would definitely use this in my classroom. The teacher area also has sight word pop-up games, which could be used on your smartboard. The printable resources, they have flashcards, posters, and bookmarks. And the bookmarks are really cool because you can pick which one. So the earlier readers can use the bookmarks that have the letters and the letter sounds on them. And there's also some that have the sight words on them. There's also posters and signs that you can display and edit to put in your classroom. The same flashcards that are shown on the digital could also be printed for games. And there's certificates too. So I think this is a lot of great free resources for teachers. It also gives you physical games that you could actually play in your classroom, which is really awesome. And you can just simply click. So we have Pirates and Sailors, Pass the Relay Race, Find My Sound Family. This is also something that you could send home, and there's a parent letter, and they could log in on their phones, iPads, computers, and play that as well. They also have songs and tabletop games that you can print out, which would be useful for stations. Here's a sight word pop-up game. So for this would also be done on the smartboard. And the students could take turns coming up, cheering each other on. And they also earn points over here too. It's a hide and seek game. So all the sight words will pop up. And you have to beat the clock. And it tells you which word to click on. So this one said click on the word house. So the student will just have to tap on the bug that says the word house. Gives them points. And it says, can you click on the word my? And it gets faster and more bugs come up each time, which is really fun. So all of these resources are completely free. They're great for parents and teachers. And it's very easy for the students to navigate through. The teacher could also print out cards for their students. That way, when they have to log onto the computer, they can simply look at their password and their username and type it in. I'll show you what a password card looks like. So she would type her name into the username, which would be a picture of a face, and then the star would be her password. I would probably choose not to use a password. But after reviewing Teach Your Monster to Read, I look forward to using it in my classroom. And after reading the reviews, I believe that it is a great resource for early learners.